Okay, it's time to buckle up for another episode of the Garage Vlog. And today we're going to tackle this wonderful thing called autonomous vehicles. Now, wonderful obviously being a very late use term, and autonomous vehicle obviously being a term that we are all kind of a little scared of. Now, don't be scared of progress. Progress is natural. It happens. Pretty soon, this logo could be up here. You never know. I mean, it could happen. It's progress. But I digress. So, the autonomous vehicle is wonderful in theory. It really, really is. It's really an amazing idea. And self-driving cars are something of the future, something that we're looking forward to, and something that we know is eventually going to happen. It just will. Tesla already has its autopilot. They've tested that in the snow. How well it does is kind of shaky. You can't really tell because every snow condition is completely different, just like every rain condition is completely different. But here's the thing, with autonomous vehicles, especially ones that Ford's making, Google's making, all that, we've already seen the Google one get into an accident that happened not too long ago. And we're kind of seeing a trend of people being really careful about what they say around these autonomous vehicles and how they're responding, which, don't get me wrong, is necessary in legality and all that. So here's a quick clip of Ford testing its autonomous vehicle. Not saying I have anything wrong with Ford's autonomous vehicle. I just want to show this to you so you can see what they said about it.
You know, our experience driving around, we're here in Michigan. There's a lot of winter here. We're used to the conditions changing very rapidly. As humans, we understand that that can happen and we know how to deal with it. And we need to make sure that our autonomous vehicle can also deal with those situations in the same way.
Now, looking at Ford's autonomous vehicle, there's a few things I noticed about this video. If you jotted down notes as you're watching the 10-second or so clip that I put on here, I'll leave a link to that actual video because I really do think it's a good video. I really do think Ford is onto something. I really think that all of these manufacturers are onto something. What is the problem that you notice about this? It's not what we're seeing out there. It's this much of snow. There's no slush. We don't know the temperature. We don't know how much ice there could be. It literally looks like that first little dusting that you get. What about, whiteout conditions with a layer of ice because it's probably 12 degrees out, a layer of slush because it's been snowing all day and cars have been driving over it and over and over it, and then a layer of freshly packed snow because, like I said, it's been snowing and snowing and snowing. So you have fresh powder on top of slush on top of ice. And now you have blowing wind going across the freeway. What's going to happen then? I'm honestly curious. I'm not knocking the autonomous vehicle, but there are things that an autonomous car cannot do that a human can do. Look back at Iron Man when Rhodey says, no one will ever be able to beat a pilot's instincts. No unmanned aerial vehicle, UAV, will ever be able to beat a pilot's instincts. It won't happen. It can't, because autonomous vehicles run off of numbers. So let's look at this video real quick. Through all its math and algorithms and all that, to know not to go down that hill because it's icy. Will it know? Will it know how to handle it if it accidentally does? Also, what about a sloped driveway? When it goes up to the top of that sloped driveway and you put it in park, it puts itself in park, and it puts on the emergency brake and it knows that it's not going to slide back down, but it's on ice and it starts sliding back down. What will happen? The human knows, put your foot back on the brake, figure it out, and go with it. What is the autonomous vehicle going to do? These are genuine questions that I would like someone to answer. I don't know if they're being asked. I genuinely don't, but they need to be asked. I was thinking about my way home from work today as they were talking about autonomous vehicles. And then I get home and I watch the Grand Tour and they're talking about Tesla and the autopilot and how it's a great system. Tesla's autopilot is a phenomenal system. It really is. But humans' instincts react, and sometimes we can't react quick enough. So machines, as amazing as they are, will not ever be able to level out the playing field enough to really figure it out. I hope that autonomous vehicles are tested in more snowy conditions, because even in the Ford, the full length one, they say what the conditions were and how it reacted. They said it was some snow. Now, some snow is not what I saw today on my way home from work. On my way home from work, like I said, I saw ice under slush, under a fresh layer of powder. That's what it was. That's genuinely what it was. So what are we going to do about this? What are autonomous car makers going to do about that? I think that they do have an awesome place. They would cut down on DWIs. Uber's already doing that. Great job, Uber. They would help with people who cannot drive. My brother, who is in a wheelchair, would benefit immensely from an autonomous car where he could just roll right in, say where he wants to go, and it drives him there. And then when he gets there, it parks, he lets him off, and he's good. That's what the autonomous car is built for. It's a great idea. Putting this autonomy inside the cars that already exist is great. It's awesome. It's not the solution to the problem, though, because the problem isn't that people who can drive don't want to drive. Well, some of us do, which is weird because I love driving. But anyways, the people who can drive and don't want to drive, this helps them. But the people who cannot drive, they physically cannot. They never will be able to. They never have been able to. Blind people, deaf people, people in motorized wheelchairs who have no function or very little function of arms, hands, legs, whatever, what have you, feet. You know, those people especially. Anyone who is handicapped like that. So paralyzed, paraplegic, you know, you catch my drift. And I'm sure there's others that fit into different categories, but those are the ones that really stand out. And I'm not saying that autonomous cars are only for disabled people. Don't get me wrong on that, because that's not the truth either. They are for people who genuinely don't want to drive. It's that simple. Not everyone likes driving. Get that in your head, Rev. Like, come on. But we really need to test these cars in every way to their limits. If they get into an accident, it's okay. That is a good thing, because then we can figure out how it happened, why it happened, and what caused it. That is the issue that we have. We're so scared that these cars are going to get into accidents that we keep saying, oh, I hope it doesn't get into an accident because that would ruin our idea. Thomas Edison made the light bulb. He didn't get it right on the first time. Autonomous cars, you're not going to get it right on the first time. Tesla started with that summon thing, the autopilot, and they're doing great with just that so far. And they're working on the other stuff. Ford is working on it. Google's working on it. I don't know who else is working on it, but everyone seems to be working on some form of autonomy. Cars that stop themselves. Cars that come to you. Tesla's summon feature. The autopilot that's in Tesla. The Mercedes that has that lane awareness and kind of like speeds up and slows down with you or with the car in front of you. You have the cars that stay in the lane, and if you start to drift out of the lane, it lets you know, and it goes, okay, I'm back in my lane. Like, there's all these kinds of cars out here, and they're all great. This technology has not been around for like 10 seconds. They've been working on it. Autonomous cars, we just need to continue to work on it. That's it. Continue to work on it. It will be good to go. That's all that matters. If it gets into an accident, it is a good thing. If it kills someone, that's a problem. We need to really think about that one. That's where we get into some hairy stuff. But personally, would I buy an autonomous car? There's a few reasons why I wouldn't. No, because, in all honesty, I really don't like the look of them. The Google one is ugly. Number two, I really hope that somewhere down the line, people will be able to use them freely. But personally, I love driving. Simple as that. And number three, the algorithms that are designed in them, basically, like I said before, they're designed to kill you if that's the best outcome. No human is going to drive with the intent to kill themselves or someone else at the wheel. No sane human would do that. And I get it. Let's say you come to an intersection, you're barreling through, or you're going the speed limit, and all of a sudden someone walks out in front of you. And the autonomous car says, you know what? If I turn this way, I could only hit that pole, and that might hurt the driver, but it won't hurt that person, and that person has no protection the driver does. I don't like that. I believe that the human would find a better way around it. Hopefully, that's the case. That's the other issue I had with Ford, is they said, we're going to make it so that, I want to think of the wording because I don't want to get it wrong, so that basically the autonomous vehicle that they're creating would have the capabilities of a professional driver, like someone who does this for a living. We don't want an autonomous car with the capabilities of a professional driver. We want an autonomous car with the mind of a human being. It's great that they have that capability, but it would be better if they had the ideas and the algorithms of a human being who wants to live through an accident, that doesn't want to just hit the pole because you can't just go around them or stop in time. I'm just hoping that we get down the line and we realize this. But I really, really want to see them tested in harsher conditions. We test all these other cars in the harshest of conditions to make sure that they can even start in that setting. If we're telling this car to not only start, but to drive itself through to its destination, it really needs to pass some very serious standards, and that is what we have to focus on. Take it with a grain of salt. I really don't care. Don't sue me. Don't try to sue me like you tried to sue Grand Tour. Just saying. Not pointing any fingers. I don't have my lawyer sitting next to me. My lawyer's in my pocket, but nonetheless, just a thought, just some questions. Let's just all figure it out together, figure out what we can do further. Have an awesome day. I hope you enjoyed this. Make sure you stick with the channel, subscribe if you haven't already. That button is right down there. If you like this video, make sure to like. If you really like this video and you want to leave a comment saying how much you like this video, how much you agree, type up a comment. If you hated this video because you don't like me just talking bad about these cars, leave a thumbs down. I don't care. And type up why you left a thumbs down. I'm genuinely curious. If you're seeing this on Twitter, Facebook, wherever, awesome. Make sure not just to watch it on there. Make sure you go to YouTube, subscribe, and hit up the channel, because I want to know where you're coming from, where all my subscribers are coming from, where they found me. It helps me out to really get my content out more. And as always, if you really like this content, make sure to share it.